a vision seen by St. John and described in Apocalypse or Revelation 12:1, will appear in the heavens in 2017. Speaking of his second coming at the end of the world, Jesus says in Luke 21:25, quote, "And there shall be signs in the sun, in the moon, and in the stars." Jesus says that these signs will signal to mankind that we are very close to his return at the end of the world. In Genesis 1 verse 14 it states, quote, "And God said, Let there be lights made in the firmament of heaven, to divide the day and the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years." Here, God says that one of the purposes for the lights of heaven is that they are signs given for mankind. Planets can also be considered lights of heaven because they reflect the light from the sun, and they look like stars when we look at the night sky. Because planets reflect the light of the sun, some refer to planets as wandering stars. In Matthew 24:3, the disciples ask Jesus, quote, "Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of your coming, and of the consummation of the world?" Luke 21:7, quote, "And they asked him, saying, Master, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign when they shall begin to come to pass?" A few verses later, Jesus says, quote, "There shall be great signs," Luke 21:11. In Apocalypse 12 verse 1, it speaks of a great sign. Apocalypse 12:1-2, quote, "And a great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and on her head a crown of 12 stars. And being with child, she cried, travailing in birth, and was in pain to be delivered." Now take a look at how the different constellations and stars in the heavens will line up in the very near future on September 23, 2017. We see the constellation Virgo the Virgin, which one could say is a representation of the Blessed Virgin Mary. On September 23, 2017, the Virgin is clothed with the sun. You can also see that the moon is at her feet. Also notice the serpent below the Virgin's foot. On September 23, 2017, above Virgo the Virgin's head, we also see the constellation Leo the Lion, which contains 9 stars. Near these 9 stars, we see the planets Mercury, Mars, and Venus. Since planets reflect the light of the sun, these planets also look like stars. Therefore, this gives you what appears to be 12 stars near the head of Virgo the Virgin. So on September 23, 2017, we will have the woman, Virgo the Virgin, clothed with the sun, the moon at her feet, and near her head 12 stars, as you can see. At the exact same time, Jupiter, which is known as the king planet in our solar system, will be right near the womb of Virgo the Virgin, precisely in the area where a child would be born. This is a symbolic representation of the birth of Jesus Christ, the King, from the womb of the Blessed Virgin Mary. This is how things will line up on September 23, 2017. It all lines up in the heavens exactly like the vision St. John describes in Apocalypse 12, verse 1. According to non-Catholic astronomers who have studied how these different constellations have moved and will move around in the future, this will be the only time in history that it will all line up like this. On November 20th, 2016, Jupiter went inside the constellation of Virgo the Virgin near the belly area. One could see this as a symbolic representation of Jesus Christ the King, represented by the king planet Jupiter, entering into the womb of the Blessed Virgin Mary, represented by Virgo the Virgin. Jupiter moves around inside Virgo and finally comes completely out of Virgo 42 weeks later on September 9th, 2017. A normal human pregnancy is around 38 to 42 weeks. Thus, the time period of 42 weeks in which Jupiter will be inside Virgo is the same as a normal period of time for the pregnancy and birth of a human being. About 2 weeks later, on September 23, 2017, we have the moon at Virgo the Virgin's feet with a crown of 12 stars, and Virgo is clothed with the sun. exactly as St. John described it in his vision in Apocalypse 12, verse 1. This is a clear sign given to us by God that we are very deep into the last days foretold in the book of the Apocalypse.